Why is it that Spaniards live so long? While, yes, it's true, Spaniards enjoy countless sunny days, all while reaping the benefits of the life-lengthening Mediterranean diet, they also have some of the highest daily alcohol consumption rates in Europe and boast twice as many smokers as the United States. Join me as I take you along my personal experience in adopting the Spanish lifestyle, and let's see if we can decode some of its secrets to longevity. Listos? Vamonos! Now, Spanish life expectancy is amongst the highest in the world. Latest statistics have it hovering around 83.4%. When compared to the United States, we hover around 78 years of life expectancy, which is, quite a big difference, right? 5-year difference in life expectancy. And so I started to wonder, why is that? What is it about the Spanish lifestyle that leads to a longer, healthier life as opposed to what we were doing back in the United States? And when we first came to Spain, I really didn't know what to think. Because yes, they do have the Mediterranean diet, which is pretty healthy, but I had never seen so many smokers around. Since I was young. Everybody smokes. And obviously that's a generalization, but a lot of people smoke. That, and it's not very uncommon to see someone enjoying a glass of wine or a pint of beer with an almuerzo. It's just par for the course. That's what they do here. That's the Spanish lifestyle here. Now, we've been living in Spain for over 15 months now, in 2 different cities in Spain. And I'm going to list a couple of factors that I believe heavily influence that increase in life expectancy over the United States. Now, first and foremost on the list is the diet, the Mediterranean diet. I'm a big believer in, well, at least the words that are credited to Hippocrates, let food be thy medicine and medicine be thy food. I'm a big believer in that because I believe what we put in our body definitely has a significant influence in how we live, right? Our quality of life and our longevity. And the Mediterranean diet is rustically simple, tasty, and healthy. From the simple desayuno of una tostada con aceite y tomate to their famous paellas. There really is not a lot of complexity to these meals. It's good bread, it's a lot of olive oils, vegetables, fruits, healthy proteins, fish, a lot of prawns. There are some meat elements to it, whether it be pork or beef, but a lot of seafood, sepia, calamar, prawns, gambas, everything. It's all in there. Every meal you have incorporates a salad. So the diet is very simple and it's very healthy, very low on processed foods. And so it's easy to see how maintaining this type of diet for the span of a lifetime, one will be able to reap the benefits of it. What's not to like? Ever since we've moved here, we started incorporating the simple, or what we know to be the Valencian salad, una ensalada valenciana, which is lettuce, tomato, onion, olive oil, and a pinch of salt. You incorporate that with your main meal, and then you have a nice fruit for dessert. And there you go. The second thing on the list would be exercise. Here, exercise is just part of the daily routine. People here walk the walk, let's put it that way, because people walk everywhere. The infrastructure is made for people to move around without the need of a vehicle. Narrow streets with broad sidewalks. So you can bike anywhere. In Valencia, here in the Playa de Gandia, even in the town in Gandia. And we've been to Barcelona, we've been to Peñíscola, we've been to Alicante, we've been to Altea, we've been to several different places. And all of them have the same type of infrastructure. Whereas opposed to in the United States, the infrastructure is the opposite. Broader streets, thinner sidewalks. And if you go for a walk in the United States, you're kind of going to stand out. And I've seen a couple of YouTube videos where Europeans go visit the United States and they go out for a walk and they'll be pulled over by the police asking them, what are you doing? And they're like, well, I'm just going for a walk. And the police are like, people don't walk here. It's suspicious. And so it's easy to see how people will burn less calories back in the United States as opposed to here. And aside from the benefit of burning calories because you're just going out for your daily walk here, is that there's the added benefit of this, taking in the sun. Here in Spain, they say, vamos a tomar el sol. Let's go take in the sun. Let's go drink in the sun. You're getting a daily dose of vitamin D. You're enjoying the sunlight, which has its own health benefits as well. And so it's those simple things, walking, biking, Simple exercise like that is part of the Spanish lifestyle that leaves a lot of benefits, and that I believe definitely adds to the longevity. Now, the third thing that I believe heavily influences the longevity of Spanish life expectancy is the universal healthcare system. I mean, it's written into the Constitution here, and I believe it's Article 43. Article 43 protects the right to health for all citizens and requires public authorities to organize and safeguard public health for everyone. I know back in the United States, healthcare is such a big topic because not everybody has access to it, and it costs so much. It's so expensive. Even if you have a good insurance, you will still pay a lot of money when seeking treatment. And that adds to the stress level of everybody living within that system. We're here, everyone has access to healthcare, no matter your age, no matter who you are. So you can go get preventative screenings because you're not worried about the cost. You can catch things earlier and treatments can be more effective. Where in the United States, people avoid going to the doctors because they don't want the hefty price tag that goes along with it. And so people will skip preventative screenings. They'll skip doctor's appointments. And so when they do end up going to the doctor because the symptoms are so strong, well, a lot of times it's too late. That is obviously going to affect life expectancy no matter who you are. Now, the last thing I want to mention, I truly believe that this influences Spanish life expectancy the most, is what I'm going to call cafe culture. And it's not cafe culture, I like the term, but what I mean by cafe culture is how the Spanish really make friends and family first and foremost. And I use the term cafe culture because that's where it's easiest to witness when you come to Spain. You go to any cafe and you will see tables full, especially if it's a day like today, where it's nice and sunny, and tables will be full of groups of friends, groups of families. Families will sometimes join 3 or 4 tables together, and there'll be 10, 15 people sitting at a cafe or at a restaurant, eating, drinking, enjoying, and it's just this loud conversation. And you just see these people and you listen to them talking, and they're talking about anything and everything, laughing and complaining. And I know how beneficial it is to have that community and that communication with people that you love being with. Here, one of my favorite things to do is I'll drop off my 7-year-old at school, and there's several cafes around her school. I'll sit at a cafe, order a coffee, and I'll just watch the tables around me. And there's groups of older men and there's groups of older women, and the older men are having their beer and their wine and smoking cigarettes or a cigar, and the older ladies as well, enjoying their coffee, smoking cigarettes. And they're just talking, and it's nonstop. The talk doesn't end. The conversation just continues and just continues and just continues. And so it's interesting because you see the negative habits that are going on. People are smoking, people are drinking. But I think the community, the conversation, that connectivity that is happening within that moment there while they're all sitting there is balancing the negative effects of, say, the alcohol use or the smoking. We all know that one of the best stress relievers is talking, airing out your grievances. If something bad happened to you, or someone did something to you, or the doctor, or you want to complain about the government or whatever, that airing of grievances gets that stress out. And when you can talk about it with your friends and people that you love, and they give you their input and they make you laugh about it, it brings you down to a different level, a different comfort level, an internal kind of emotional happiness that comes along with releasing that stress. To be quite honest with you, I want to be like one of these older gentlemen that I see, with sitting around a table at a cafe, enjoying a cup of wine at 9 in the morning, or a pint of beer at 9 in the morning, and smoking a cigarette or a cigar. Because if you can't grow old and enjoy those types of things, well, then what's the fun in growing old? And I know it's not easy. Several of my patients would tell me, like, growing old is not for the weak. And I'm sure it's not. It's challenging as can be. But I'd rather grow old than not. But I want to grow old well, with a good quality of life. And I believe Spain, by default, just by the lifestyle here, is going to better provide us a route to having a good quality of life as we age, to have a longer life expectancy, and a happier life as we age here. Honestly, I think the Spanish have cracked the code. And they do it very simply, very easily. You eat healthy. You surround yourself with family and friends. You exercise. And of course, it doesn't hurt to have universal healthcare where you're not stressing about the cost of keeping yourself healthy if you get sick or your family healthy. So I truly believe that the Spanish lifestyle is one that is very conducive to long, healthy, and happy life surrounded by family and friends. But please let me know what you guys think in the comments section. I know people from several different countries watch these videos, and give me your input. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you guys next week. Hasta luego.